Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tapping into the Energy of Life. Today, we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. This topic is on angels. And it could be guardian angels, it could be archangels. I mean, there are a whole lot of angels, and I've always had this question. So, what is the difference between guardian angels, archangels, angels as such, and how many more angels are there? I think the right person to answer my question would be Maria. Over to you, Maria.
Thank you, Palak. Well, regarding your question, because this subject is very, very wide. So, to narrow it down to answer your question, there are different kinds of angels, like there are different kinds of people and different kinds of things of every kind. So, let's say that the archangels are the more archetypical ones. Like if you have a ray of white light and you divide it into the spectrum of colors, like the rainbow, then you have that every angel, every archangel, it's kind of defined by one of those color bandwidths. So there's the, let's say, the yellow, the pink, the red, the blue, etc. So that is a vibration, it's a frequency. It's not like a physical person with wings, it's a frequency. And it's related to the emotions that come with that frequency and the experiences that come with that frequency. So there's like the archetypical one, which is like the archangel, which encodes that frequency. And then, of course, then there are many kinds of angels that work with us and that are there for us. Well, they all have like a specialty, like they work on something particular.
Okay.
So let's say that the first division of light, of white light, the first ray that comes when you divide light into colors is the blue one, and that's Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael, it's related to the blue light, like electrical blue light, which is our original blueprint. So we're made of blue light, actually.
Right. Okay.
And so it's the primal energy of life force. So it's connected to that color. But for me, at least, angels are not like that personalized or idealized person with wings. It's a vibration, as I said before. So
But as
if you
kids, we loved with wings.
it's lovely.
Yeah.
Wow.
We
It's
imagine them with
lovely.
wings.
Yeah, it's like the physical the concept that humans have to relate with that energetical imprint. So we imagine them with wings and we imagine them bright and big. And yeah, they are this amazing light, but
Are you
it's
saying there's no form as such, but actually this is just a
yeah,
higher frequency energy?
yeah, it's a high frequency energy, and so they present to us or we perceive them as we imagine them.
Right.
So when
Got
you
it.
see something and you relate to it with your, I mean, your brain tries to translate that to your concept so that you can understand it. So we present angels with that frequency. It's like dragons, they are a different energy. They are more like angels are more kind of embracing, dragons are more like determined and strong. But it's a concept that we have related to a frequency of energy, the way we perceive it. But it's not that they are like that, it's the way we perceive that frequency. It's like the way we perceive love. It's like I feel loved when I'm hugged, or when someone cooks me a good meal, or when somebody says I love you. But that's the way we perceive it. It doesn't mean that somebody that doesn't cook a meal doesn't love us. You know, it's just the
Yeah.
way we translate, the way we translate the behavior of somebody, or the symbol that we have for something in our mind is, oh, I feel love when somebody hugs me. And if somebody is colder and less huggable, or less, it touches people less, I don't feel loved. Well, love is something else. It's not hugs. That is another word. But we translate it to our language and our understanding with those concepts. So angels are the same thing. they're frequencies, presences, or light beings, or consciousness in the end that presents itself in a purer, or let's say raw energy. So when you relate to them, what they bring to your consciousness is that you are raising your vibration to match theirs. They don't come down to the denser parts. So you raise your vibration to understand, to relate, and you can also ask them, which is your intention to rise, and so they can connect with you in that rising of your frequency.
So all you have to do is have the intent of wanting to connect with them, and they respond. Wow.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like everything, you just need to have the intent of something, and the universe answers. So there's a very good book which is Put Heaven to Work. At least that's the literal translation in Spanish. That I don't remember the writer, but she talks about all these light beings, all these angels, archangels, and all those realms of beings that go with you along your path every day of your life. They are wanting to help you out, take care of you, love you, give you what you want. They're loving, they're unconditionally with you. And because we close down, we feel alone, we don't trust, we don't allow them to help us, they are there waiting, like saying, I've got nothing to do. So what she says is give them work, like put them to work, allow them to help you by asking them for things and for whatever you want or you need. And that in the book is written like that, they will do then things. But in my interpretation is that then you really connect with that help, with that language of love from the universe, and you're allowing that thing to come to you. So it's like it's not for them, it's for you to open up. They are there all the time. So it's like the sun, it's there all the time, but you may close the window. Yeah.
So does each angel have something that they specialize in?
Yeah,
You
it's
said
like
it was each one has a frequency, which I understand, but like is Archangel Michael, when you have relationship problems, or you know what I'm saying? Is there
yeah,
certain
they have different colors, and like the chakras, they're related to different colors because colors have a different vibration. So blue is the frequency of clarity. It's the electric energy. It's like the electric storms or a ray of light, and it's sharp. It's like a laser. So it's very good for cutting things, cutting cords, giving clarity, enlightening, clearing the mind. And it's that blue color that is like a indigo color. It's like clarity, and it's very good for clearing too. So that's a kind of vibration that is very different to the pinky, loving, embracing, unconditional love, which is more Shamuel, which is another frequency. We can call it pink energy, crystal quartz, like pink quartz, or archangel Shamuel, or any, we can give it any name, but it's the same. And it's that frequency that is embracing, kind of uniting, kind of calming, loving, accepting. So it's a different frequency that the one that is more, let's say, masculine or direct. So every archangel has its own job, or every frequency has its own purpose. There are frequencies that are in the light spectrum. They are very good for dissolving problems with health, but also they're the ones that we cannot see. So we are talking about the visible spectrum here, but there are other lights that we don't see actually. So there are many things out there that we don't understand, and so we don't give it names, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So for example, to let you know how I came in touch with angels, because I am not a very I didn't believe in angels before, but I have a very traditional religious background. So in Spain or in these Catholic countries, they tell you to call your guardian angels, and that you're born with guardian angels, and they keep your bed when you're little. So there are 4 guardian angels in every corner of your bed taking care of you. That's like a tale for babies to go to sleep. But it's true that we're born with guardian angels. So it's like shamans, they call it your animal spirit. Or so every culture has like an archetype, energetic archetype that is born with you, and it's your primal energy imprint that reminds you who you are and take care of you. So that's the guardian angel, and it's with you for life. Then there are angels that are guardians also for missions or parts of your life, or things that you want to endeavors that you want to go through, or things that you want to achieve, or learnings that you have. And then there are other,
like Angel Gabriel is for writing, if I'm not mistaken.
for example, Angel Gabriel, it's more related to communication.
Communication. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And also, of course, these angel images are very related to Catholic Church and the interpretation of the church. So the angels are related in the Bible, and that's why we have that concept of angels. But other cultures call it differently. They call it gods or animal spirits or other things, you know, like elements in nature.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. It depends on your culture or background.
Right.
So Gabriel was the one that announced Mary that she was pregnant. Gabriel was the one that blew the horn, the trumpets in Babel and the tower, and brought it down. So there are different things that we have been told that Gabriel did in the Bible, but it's up to you to think if they were literal or metaphors. But they were all connected to communication. So the way I got in touch with
Well,
them.
and what about guardian angels that have died? Like I feel like I have guardian angels, like my sisters who have died, my parents, a very close male friend died, and I feel like they're looking out for me. And
Okay,
I call on them, like when my ship sunk. I called
yeah.
on my angels, like save us, be with us.
Yeah, we have departed ones that are light beings also that help us and guide us and take care of us. But that's a little bit different from an angel. Like an angel doesn't have that human programming soul, let's say, not as a human
Interesting.
story that has an imprint. You know, there are also human beings here now incarnated that have an angelic connection, because we are fractals of the universe's energy. So you can connect with different realms. So the angelic realm, whatever, dragons, fairies, so many things you can connect with. So there are mermaids, unicorns, or sunflowers. So you connect with that realm, and for the people that have that connection, it's very hard to be human. So the people that have that angelic soul connection, they are very sometimes even autistic, because it's like the sensibility and the ability to sense and perceive is so enhanced. The compassion is so enhanced. Like they seem to be like kind of, naive people, because they are always thinking the good of the other person. And for some of them, it's very difficult. So some angels can take shape, but it's not the same as deceased people in our family tree or friends or whatever that are there. It's like a fractal energy, it's denser every time. So the archangels are part of the highest frequencies. And as you get denser into matter, you start condensing the frequency, you start densifying, you start solidifying, and you start splitting. That white ray, it starts to split, and it goes broad, like wider. So the intensity of light at the end, when it's like completely open, it's less than at the beginning. So we humans are kind of far away from the origin. We are denser. but we are the same and we're connected, so we can relate to that. But what it means to have that frequency is that you are not so much programmed to believe the social conditioning, that this physical reality is your own reality, that you are determined by matter. So they have another perspective of things. So a deceased person doesn't have the material connection so strongly, but we might still have some programming in our soul level when we are not condensed in a body.
It looks like we have a whole army of intelligence supporting us, isn't it? You've got angels, you've got guardian
We
angels,
are an
you've got
army of
ascended
intelligence.
masters and people who've passed on.
Yeah, it's not that we have them, it's that we are them.
Yeah.
But we split in our consciousness, we split in so many different aspects, and then we project all that in, like, this is Jeshua, the ascended master, this is this angel, this is this dragon, this is this god or goddess. And we start projecting that so that we become separated from it, but we are the same thing. So the thing is that as much as you allow yourself to relate to it, to open up to it, to ask it for information, for help, for whatever, the more you start understanding that you are capable of opening up to that, and your consciousness about yourself becomes bigger. So that's the whole point of this, to remember that you are that light, and that even if you are kind of split it up in many layers, you're still connected to that original light. You are that light. So that's the whole point of everything.
And you're saying that
So
communicating with them and connecting with them is as easy as just having an intention. I want to connect with you and I need help with this. And it just, they respond, right?
Absolutely. I have an experience with this because I was reading that book that I told you, like Put Heaven to Work.
Yeah.
And I went out of the house late in the evening because I used to work at night by that time. And I came back and I had the book in my handbag. It's a very little thin book, so it's quite easy to read. So I had it in my handbag and I got home, and I lived in a flat, and the main entrance to the building was closed and I couldn't open the door. I didn't know why, but they changed the key, I learned afterwards, but I didn't know why I couldn't enter. And it was late in the evening. It was about, I don't know, 11:30 in the evening or so. And I was there thinking about what to do, if to call, these people that open key locks and things, but it was very late, so it would be very expensive. And I was there like, oh my God. And my housemate, my flatmate, was probably, I don't know if sleeping or out, I don't remember, but it was not available. She was not available. So I was there wondering what to do and how to enter my house. And I was there worrying and thinking if I could call that. So I phoned that emergency number of a person who was coming to open the door and force it and open it and change the lock maybe or whatever. And then I said, I've got the book. I have my book in my handbag. So I thought, let's put heaven to work. So I asked the angels, I was sitting down there, and I said, okay, angels, I need help with this. Please come and help me out. And like 5-10 minutes later, a neighbor came out through the door, like very fast. So it was a few minutes since I asked until the answer came. So the neighbor came out, and he said that they had changed the lock that day, and that every neighbor had a lock in their post box. So I opened the post, he opened the door for me, I opened the post box, and I had the key.
Your key.
So, and that was with enough time to call this other emergency person and say, you don't need to come, it's okay. So he didn't charge me for the visit. So it was like 5 minutes and it was sorted.
Oh my goodness.
So
do you know why the guy came out? Do you know why the guy came out?
Because I was pretty. No, I don't know.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say that he just like came out and said, "Oh, I just felt like I needed to come out."
Oh, I didn't ask him. I was just so kind of shocked with somebody coming
Yeah.
out at that time in the evening. I don't know. It was a day that was not very easily, although it's Spain, it was not very easy to find somebody coming out. I don't know if it was a Monday or Tuesday or something like that. So it was like, oh my God. And that's just an example, but I've got plenty. So it's like when you put heaven to work, it's like when you allow yourself to ask the universe. And we talk about manifestation here so much. So this version of it works for people that still don't believe that you can manifest things. So it's like, okay, let's ask somebody else to do it for you. Although it's yourself, but in another way. So you can project your manifesting powers onto these light beings, but definitely like the universe has got your back and it helps you out. So angels are an amazing loving energy that you can connect to, and they not just bring information, they bring healing. And it's not that they bring it, it's like you open yourself to connect with them in that frequency. And because there's a wide range of frequency between when you're in your higher self and when you're feeling low, there are angels all the way. Like every frequency has its light aspect, that ascending aspect of the soul that is represented by an angel. It's just a frequency, it's a thought, a love thought, or a thought of love that you connect to.
Wow.
So yeah. And
That's
you have
amazing.
your angel guides and your guides for life, your guides for a certain situation. So you can ask for information, and they're amazing angel healers. I know I've got a friend who channels angels, and it's a way of channeling like the Akashic records or any other kind of channeling. But for me, the difference in the feeling is that it's very loving. It's very soft and loving. And so there are other energies that are more like direct.
To the point.
Yeah. So these ones are very compassionate. So it's very interesting how to connect with them. And of course, it's not like something to believe in, it's something to experience, because then you will have your own experience of them. So for me, the first thing that happened with angels was when I went to Mexico. I was 28, and there are many people doing every kind of thing spiritually, like spiritually, because it's like things that are called spiritual when everything is spiritual. But you know, those kind of uh, angel readings, Reiki, Akashic records,
All energy related work, you mean?
all of those things.
Okay.
Exactly. And so there was this lady that channels angels. She's quite a personality in Mexico, and she has trainings about how to relate to them and related to your chakras, and how to work with your chakras to become whole, to be more of yourself. She was the motto was shine your light. So when she started channeling, she did a reading for the group that I was with, and it was very up to the point, very straight to the point. And so she was teaching about angels and the chakras, and I thought, well, I'm here already, so it might be interesting. And a few years later, because I started following her and the information was really good. So managing emotions, attitudes, how to act more coherently, how to connect with the real power in that area of your life. So it was kind of rounded. It was not like, airy. So when I did that work, she released a course on energy healing. And it was a 5 days training in Mexico. So I took a plane and I went there. I didn't know why I took the plane, but when I bought the plane ticket, all the doors and windows in the house opened, like the wind opened the whole house. The moment I pressed the key, like bye, and everything went like foo. So it was like, oh my God. So I took my plane and I went there. And I had started to have problems in my eyesight. Like, you know, when you see those kind of little white spots from different colors, that it's like you've been fixing your eyesight on something for too long, or it's just like bothering dots of light when you look
Yes,
at them.
yes. Yeah.
So I had been having that for like about a few weeks or a month, and I was
Continuously.
like concerned.
Continuously. Was it?
Well, not all the time, but a lot of time,
Oh,
most of the time. And I have started realizing that the light colors change with my thoughts. It was like if I'm thinking like that, or if I'm worried, they're kind of more reddish and things. So it was like I was playing with that thing, thinking that it was a medical issue, and I was like, oh my God, this must be the tension in my muscles, and the colors come because of the light, and my kind of grounded scientific background. So I get there to Mexico, and the first thing she says in this training was, sometimes angels come as balls of light or dots of light. And I was like, that's what I've been seeing. So I started having dialogues with those dots of light, and I started realizing that they were answering when they were changing color. And so I started like being able to read the code. But before it was like, this is very curious and funny.
yeah.
But it was very nice because in that training, we learned how to channel and how to use energy for healing, how to do cutting of cords, and many other mixtures between shamanism and Catholic mysticism and things like that. So it was quite interesting.
Wow.
And that's how I came in touch with angels.
Yes. Amazing. Thank you for that, Maria.
Well, I was just gonna, just say that the whole concept of asking for help, Maria, you've really been talking about that in a few videos. And, I've always been a big manifester and, putting out my intentions and all of that. But I don't know if I've ever really asked for help, other than when we went down and then I was asking everybody, my guardian angels for help and everything. But so that I'm going to take that concept to heart and do that, because a lot of times we just like asking for help with a therapist is one thing, but just asking for generic help to the angels and everything is a wildly powerful thought. So
Yeah.
it's something I've really learned lately. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for asking for help, because every time one of us releases a load, because what we do is like we're alone, we have to fight for it, and it's hard, and like we're tough, and we're doing things on our own. And I've been trained to do that, so I know. So every time someone lets go of that idea, it makes it weaker in my mind. So we all open up a little bit. So thank you for doing it and helping me to do that too.
How about you, Palak? Do you have any experiences
The thing is, I can't remember, on the, I'm like, if you put me on the spot to remember, I can't remember, but I'm sure I must have had experiences. I remember one day we were just talking about angels and how they're so helpful. And, we're still learning about the different kind of angels. Like you said, there's Archangel Michael, there's Ariel, Gabriel, and I think all you have to do is ask. That's it. And, you shall receive. So I think we were experimenting and we were saying, okay, one fine day I said, okay, I'm going somewhere. And I've heard the story that you ask for parking. If there's no parking, you ask your angels to help you and, you will just get it. So I remember I said, okay, let me try. And I was going for a meeting somewhere, and then, oh, it's a busy time and I'm running late. And oh my God, it'll be so great if I could get a parking at the right, the right space. And please, angels, if anyone could just help me get the right parking so I could reach for my meeting on time. And it just happened. I found a beautiful parking and going out again. I asked for another thing again. And then I'm not sure if I remember it correctly, but I think it happened again. And I'm like, now, is it really happening or is it just coincidence? You question, your critical mind keeps questioning these things. But that's all I can remember right now. But I'm sure all of us must have had a lot of experiences like that, but we do not know who to attribute that to. Is it God? Is it the universe? Is it the
Yeah.
angels? Is it, somebody else? I really don't know. As long as we just know that, gosh, the universe has got your back. You're not alone. You're supported. Ask and you shall receive.
To summarize the talk, today's talk that we have had, I think that angels, I mean, the one thing about angels is that their frequencies, their energies, they're there for us, like every energy, and we have a close relationship with it. It's just that you can connect with them or not, depending on your choice. So I invite all of you to do this practice, start connecting and asking live through angels for help. And if you have any other cultural background or religion, any way that frequency manifests for you, ask for help and start building that loving and nurturing and empowering relationship. So if you have liked this video,
Like, share, and subscribe.